So we hear myths about how the lower the tension gives you more power and the higher the tension, you find it harder to play or your arms will ache. But today I'm going to throw all these myths aside, test it for myself and find out how does the tension actually affect your gameplay. So today I have with me 3 rackets, exactly the same model, with exactly the same type of string, but they're all of different tension. There's one that is 22 pounds, 25 pounds, and 28 pounds. I'm going to do a series of tests to find out how the different tension actually affect your gameplay. We're going to talk about how the tension of the strings affect you in 3 areas. Number 1 is the repulsion, number 2 is the feeling, and number 3 is the durability. When we talk about repulsion, this one already threw me off the tracks, right? Because what I always hear is that the lower the tension at 22 is supposed to give you more power, it's supposed to be more effortless, and at 28 it's supposed to take more effort for you to do any stroke, like smashing, lifting, or lobbing. But what I found out was actually quite the opposite. I find that when I do lifting with all 3 rackets, actually 22 pounds required a little more effort. But here's the trade-off, or here's the trick, right? The 22 pounds was a lot more forgiving, which means if I miss the sweet spot, it didn't adjust or didn't affect the results very much. I hit the shutter to almost the same distance. Whereas with the 28, it was quite effortless to get the shutter all the way to the baseline. But if I catch myself not hitting the sweet spot, the difference in the distance is a lot further than what would have happened for the 22 pounds. Okay? And the 25 pounds is just the middle result of the 22 and the 28 pounds averaging out. So when it comes to the feeling, as expected, the lower tension of 22 pounds felt softer and gentler, right? And it was also very forgiving, as I mentioned. So whenever I hit, I didn't feel like I need to concentrate very much. Now the interesting thing about the 28 pounds is that it felt very hard. It felt as if I was using a piece of wood or a metal racket to hit the thing over. But when it really hit the sweet spot, wow, it felt really good and felt very powerful, because just a light touch and it could send the shutter very far, even more effective than the lower tension. So the feeling is this: higher tension is hard, but when you hit the sweet spot, it was great. Lower tension, it feels nice and comfortable, but it doesn't send the shutter as far. Right. One interesting thing is also the sweet spot felt very different. Although same racket, same model, same weight distribution, I miss more on the higher tension. The only possible explanation is that indeed at a higher tension, the sweet spot is smaller than that of a lower tension racket. So given all else is the same, meaning the same player, the same type of stroke, now durability will decrease when tension go up. Now this is easy to explain because at higher tension you are stretching the strings further and it becomes thinner. So every time you hit the shutter, the intersection will rub, and because the strings are thinner, they will wear out faster and they'll snap earlier. Right? So no doubt 28 pounds will snap much earlier and much faster than the 22 pounds. Here's my recommendation for you. Now in choosing the right tension for you, I will recommend you to go as high as your ability takes you. Now remember that the higher the tension, the smaller the sweet spot. So it requires a lot of focus and technique and timing to get it right. If you have such a small sweet spot but you're not hitting it frequently enough, then there's no point tying such a high tension. I hope this is actually a shift from what we usually hear where, oh, higher tension gives you less power, lower tension gives you more power. I honestly didn't feel it that way. It was more about the timing and the technique. So what I hear from my supplier, he said that if the tension is too high for you, you tend to feel a pain in your shoulder. I do notice that when I go up in tension, I do feel that ache. I don't know is it placebo or not. So I really do want to hear from my viewers, my subscribers like you, how do you know whether the tension is too high for you? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching today's episode. I hope it has been helpful for you. Now click like and subscribe if it has been helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!